What's going on? It's Green Thumb. So we're back at the gardens today. We're going to be planting some cucumbers. Normally I'd prefer to be fertilizing while we're planting, but you guys may have heard that there's a fertilizer shortage. There's a fertilizer shortage, and I'm not using any of that Miracle Grow garbage in my gardens. So I'm going to plant these now. I have some liquid fertilizer I've already pre-mixed. The water on site is not running yet due to that massive storm that you guys may have seen the video on here. And look at that sky. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is what I'm working under today. So what I'll do is I'm going to put in cucumbers. We're doing Boston pickling cucumbers. I've got 4 plants. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I've got 4 plants that are going to grow in the ground. And after they're in the ground, I'm just going to water with some of that water soluble fertilizer, because right now that's what I have. So we're going to give each plant about a 2-foot gap between each one of them, 1.5, 2 feet, and it's going to cover this whole section of trellis right here. So we're just going to start off by punching a couple of holes. And then here's the cukes. They're not big yet. They're pretty tiny. Oh, sorry. Did I say Boston pickling cucumbers? That's what these are. Boston pickling cucumbers. I had national pickling cucumbers. That's normally what I grow. These are a new a new cucumber for me. So we'll get those. We'll get those. So to take them out, I always just take my fingers around the plant. That way you don't have to worry about damaging it. Give it a couple of pops. That's it. In the ground it goes. Now, because I've got all this mushroom compost on here, when I put this back in the ground, I'm going to mix the soil in with some of this mushroom compost. I'll just put that in the ground. And I'm putting it right underneath the trellis. So as it goes up, the first thing it's going to do is going to grab right onto that trellis. And then I've got all this extra good soil. That'll just get added right back into the garden. That's a nice little one. Now, if that root mass was really thick, I would break it up, but I don't need to for these ones because they haven't been growing that long. And here's number 4. So you can see I started in all of these cells, but only 4 grew. My plants were outside during that big storm and it's drowned a lot of my seeds. So what I might do is I might come back and in between these, just plant some more seeds. It's official, we're gardening, there's plants in the ground. So now I'll just come by with that water soluble fertilizer and I'll give these plants a drink. All right, here's round 2 for today. We're gonna be planting fingerling potatoes. We've got purples, whites, and reds from the big monster box of, alien potatoes. So I've dug 2 trenches right there, and we are going to start with purples down 1, see how far we get, probably finish that off with reds at the end, and then we're going to lay down the whites and probably finish it with some more reds at the bottom. The trench is give or take 6 inches deep or so, and we're going to put those in. We can get you guys set up here. So we've got our tray of potatoes, and I'm just going to lay them in the ground with the roots standing up, give or take, every 6 inches or so. So we'll have 2 plants per foot. And then I'll just carefully cover them back up with soil. Try to do it so the roots are pretty much facing up. If you put your potatoes too shallow in the ground, they'll end up green and the critters will get them. That's how we lost a large portion of our potatoes last year, is they didn't get deep enough in the ground, and then the critters got them. I don't know if it was squirrels or rats or what, but we lost an awful lot of plants, and they're fragile. Look at that. And because these are fingerlings, they aren't going to need nearly the same amount of space as, let's say, something like a russet potato will. That's a red. That's white. So I've run out of room on that row, So I'm just gonna stick some of these in between some of these. I don't expect them all to grow anyways. So we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, look at that. See, the tops just break off. Yeah, another broken top. All right, so I'm gonna carry on. You guys can see we've got potatoes down the row, and I still have those. Let's get out of this, sorry. I still have those left to put in the ground, so I'll have to squeeze them in. I'm not too concerned about getting those red ones in the ground because this is all the row I have allotted for potatoes, so I need to make it happen. Look at that. Potatoes are in the ground. So we've got the purple fingerlings, and then the white fingerlings there, and a couple at the end. And then here we have russets up to here, and then Yukon Golds in there. There we go. Now I'm just going to take my rake and cover this all back up with the soil from the trenches. And when I get a chance, I'm going to get some straw, and I'm going to cover this over with like 6 inches of straw. So there's the potato bed, all in and all planted. And I'm going to pick up some straw as soon as I can get to a store that sells it. So potatoes, check.